Ark Survival Ascended is on fire. Cheaters are taking over official servers. Cheating is worse than it was in Ark Survival Evolved. We all hoped it would be improved for Ark Survival Ascended, but sadly it's the same old wildcard and snail games we have come to know. Ticket time is so slow to answer, taking days for a ticket to even be responded to, and then the enforcement who answer the tickets are sometimes seemingly corrupt, with enforcement members like Otters closing tickets with clear evidence citing that there isn't enough evidence. And now Windows Ark has joined Steam and Xbox, so Windows Ark has no anti-cheat, and now we have cross-platform servers, so they've unleashed a wave of cheaters on the rest of Ark. Why does Windows have no anti-cheat to begin with, and why are they allowed to play with the rest of Ark? These are the questions we're talking about today. So first we'll talk about where the issues come from and all the issues with cheating right now, from speed hacks to God mode, deleting map textures to teaming on small tribes, and then we will look at the response from wildcard and snail games. This is an absolute joke right now. So if you haven't been playing Ark in the last week since cross-platform with Xbox began, with Xbox, Windows and Steam, you will have missed the absolute dumpster fire that has started. On every server there is currently speed hackers running wild and unafraid, and God mode exploits like what happened to Wagyu and Rotoderp and many other tribes on official Ark. Wagyu was streaming on Twitch when a God mode speed hacker suddenly came and raided their underwater cave, and there was nothing they could do. Thousands of hours of work gone in an instant, and Wagyu says it's my fault, I should have had more internal turrets. This is the state of the game, that we think it's our fault that we are cheated against and our defense isn't up to par to defend against cheaters like it's a gameplay mechanic. And then it was reinforced the same day with Rotoderp's video exposing that they got cheated against as well by a God mode speed hacker who dropped half of their bases. So the speed hacker came into their caves and wiped them as well, using a pike to destroy metal according to Rotoderp, which is absolutely insane. So the hacks that these guys have is mental. It seems way more powerful than anything they had in Ark Survival Evolved. Rotoderp's tribe even had a speed titan hacked and flown into their base. So it is not looking good on officials right now, and these are just a few clips of the many thousands that are out there right now of hackers and cheaters on the officials. And this is only half of the cheating, with wildcard also living in console commands for players to cheat with that delete trees and complete map textures so that cheaters can see everything and everyone in the click of a button. It means no one can hide, it means no one has a chance of escaping. These console commands need to be cut off from player access. They should have never been there in the first place, and the fact that they are shows how unprepared wildcard was for this release. Apparently it was an oversight and they didn't have enough time to get to it, according to my sources. And the third cheating aspect on official small tribe servers is obviously teamers, who are running rampant on the live servers, taking over many small tribe servers with no recourse. We had nothing done to the teamers we fought with and exposed with clear evidence against them, according to the code of conduct. But by the time tickets are answered anyway, it's too late. This was wildcard's chance for a fresh start to actually show that they can police and take care of the servers that they host, the servers they are responsible for. So this brings us to the next part, and that is just as bad as the cheaters right now, and that is wildcard's response to the cheating. The only response that I've seen is from official Discord, and she says to somebody complaining about the cheats that they all have to wait for the other 670 tickets to be answered, making light of someone getting cheated against and laughing in our face. Like it's the players' fault the Windows Ark has opened up and allowed cheaters free reign to take over. Now this isn't to attack, but wildcard's attitude towards its players, like we are the issue here. Never direct hate towards individuals, but to the company of wildcard and snail, and that's where it should be directed. So we have had little to no acknowledgement or response from wildcard on official Ark channels. No statement that they are working on hiring more enforcement to deal with the cheaters, or closing off Windows Ark from playing with Xbox and Steam, which would be the logical conclusion here. Instead, the only response we have is someone joking about getting cheated against, as if it's something not taken seriously at all. My personal tickets have taken 4 days to answer, and my current ticket is up to 2 days wait time, with clear evidence of speed hackers that are still on our server, and everyone else's tickets as well. I've even seen tickets that have clear evidence, and the response has been that the evidence is not substantial, from GM Otters, who responded to some tickets from some players on official small tribes and said their evidence was not enough to act on, when they clearly had the tribe name and player name of the attacking tribe So Wildcard has made no statement on the cheating situation. They've put their head in the sand like usual, pretending it doesn't exist and talking about how modding is great on cross-platform while the rest of official cross-platform burns with cheaters. It makes me so furious that they try to just ignore us, and even when they do respond, they're not even responding adequately and even closing tickets when they have enough evidence to act on them, which is suspicious on its own. So my theory and logical conclusion is the reason for this lack of response is Snail Games, the Chinese games company who doesn't understand or care for the impact of cheating in their game, the publishers of Ark. They're probably not allowing Wildcard the necessary funds to employ more enforcement, as they are the corrupt overlords of Ark. Wildcard celebrating today how good cross-platform modding is just goes to show how little they care about the PvP official communities and how much time and effort we dedicate to this game. In conclusion, what could be done to fix this issue? Obviously, the most logical conclusion is to close off Windows Ark from playing with Xbox and Steam, as we do not need the platform. You can already buy Ark Survival Ascended on computer through Steam. We do not need to buy it on Windows, and the only people buying it through Windows are cheaters right now. Obviously, Xbox is published by Microsoft, who publishes Windows, so these two might go hand in hand. If that's the case, and they can't disconnect Xbox and the Windows Store Ark, they need to employ some new form of anti-cheat onto these servers, because what is currently happening is simply unacceptable, and it's crazy that they're getting away with it. So if they close this off from playing with Xbox and Steam, or employ anti-cheat on Windows, this will be half the battle over, as up until this point cheaters weren't as substantial on the servers. We didn't see any speed hackers or anything of that nature, it was only cheaters using config modifications and teaming. So Wildcard needs to act fast, and much faster than they are. They also need to employ much more enforcement and expand their enforcement team, as now with cross-platform they're going to have an influx of tickets. I also think some of the enforcement team needs to be looked at by an outside party to make sure there is not unfavorable treatment going on within the enforcement team. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is Steam review bomb Ark Survival Ascended, because we need to use our voice and show them that we will not take this lying down. So if you are not happy with the state of the game right now, get onto your Steam review and update it to negative so that we can let our voices be heard. This is an unacceptable state of the game, and in any other gaming community this would not be taken lying down and would never get to this point. And we need to not let ourselves be taken advantage of and start to think that this is the norm. This is not the norm to play on live servers and have cheaters at our doorstep every time we log in to the game. And this is an abuse to the players who have just bought Ark Survival Ascended. So we will not take this lying down. Make sure your voice is heard.